Hello everyone and welcome back again. My name is Mr. E and I am on my journey to teaching concept-based math. Thanks again for joining me. Today I'm really excited because today we're going to take baby steps. All the theoretical groundwork, or most of it anyway, has been laid down. So today we're going to do something that you can use in your classroom tomorrow. So let's get started. Alright, I'm going to hope, I know that you all believe and know that inquiry works. But a lot of pressure on you to cover the standards to get ready for state tests. I know I've been there. There's a lot of pressure on you from the school to keep up with the pacing guide. You try something different, you fall a day or two behind everybody else, you got to drop it and catch up. Not enough planning time. We all know what that's like. And sometimes you try something different and a lot of kids just don't seem to get it. Hey, don't give up. So I know what you're thinking. Teach inquiry? Ain't nobody got time for that. Excuse my English. But today, I'm hoping to change your mind about that. So one of my goals today is to convince you that you can do a little inquiry in your class without spending a lot of time or without falling behind. So I'm going to do an example, grade 8, Intro to Exponents, Indices. I might switch back and forth because I grew up on exponents, but where I'm going to teach, they call them indices. So I'm going back and forth. But one of the main things is, how can we guide our students to those laws of indices, to understand those laws of indices or exponents? We're going to use what's called a concept test. Now, I call it a modified concept test because I changed it a little bit, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. What we want to understand from the students is, what's their prior knowledge? And also gain insights into their prior knowledge while guiding them to the generalization, to those laws of exponents. All right, so here's my modified Fourier model. What is concept-based math? Well, I've gone over that in my videos. Go check out my website. And there's a couple of videos there explaining what concept-based math is. Won't cover that right here. So what's a non-example? Non-example is just kind of walking in class. Hey kids, we're going to talk about law of exponents. Here are laws on the board. Here's the first law. Plug a few numbers in, blah, 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 blah. We want to get away from that as much as possible. Some days you may have to do that, but when we have time, when we plan for it, we want to get away from that. So what does it look like? Well, again, in concept-based math or inquiry, inductive inquiry, we want to guide the student to come up with that generalization on their own. Well, with our help. Let's go ahead and get started. So what's a concept test anyway? Well, a concept test is a strategy where students work together, and typically it's using a multiple choice question that covers a lesson, that comes from the lesson, and it's used as a formative assessment. So I'm going to modify a little bit. I'm going to drop the multiple choice questions and just use a stem or image or something like that. So here's my example for exponents / indices. I keep going back and forth. I want to know what they know about exponents. And again, I want to guide them to understand the law or one of the laws of indices. So here's my table, my directions. I'll look at the image for a minute by yourself. I'm going to work in groups or small groups, and they're all going to come together. So here's some possible answers. Here's some questions I can ask. Well, how did you get that first one? Was it you kept them separate, or how did you get 2 to the 5th power? Did you use associative properties, so on and so forth? What about the second one? Why can't you put those two together? Because they're not like terms. However you want to drive the discussion, through that discussion, you want to guide the students to come to the understanding on their own, or to their own understanding. Another quick example, run out of time here, is we can do the law of division of exponents. Another couple of examples, same process, work by yourself for a minute, work in small groups, and we're all going to come together. Students come up with the answer. Well, did they get the first answer? Did they do 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 8 times, divided by 3 times 2, cancel out? Or did they use what they learned in the first lesson? Did they realize that 3 squared is actually a factor of 3 to the power of 8? However they came up with it, however you drive your discussion, after the discussion, they should see or have a generalization, or start to see at least, generalization. All right, so I'm out of time here, but I know the struggle is real. It's hard to keep up on a pacing guide. Sometimes you think you have to just save the world in some kind of activity, but you can keep it simple. Just take baby steps. Concept test. So hopefully you don't believe you don't have time to teach math using inquiry. Well, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please click the like button. And if you really liked it, go ahead and subscribe and you'll receive updates when I post more videos. Thanks again for coming. Talk to you soon.